Hey, what's going on, you guys? Dragon Ray Gaming, AK Rayquaza, and yes, I know it's been a while since you guys have actually seen my face, and I'm gonna come at you guys with a different kind of video today. It's like you guys see the title, you know what's gonna be. It's like I've always been asked, Rayquaza, Ray, why do you love Starfield so much? Like, why do you love Starfield so much, man? Like, I don't know. This is gonna be a part one or part two, maybe videos. Why I love Starfield so much, but the initial response is, let's just say, for me in particular, Starfield, it's potentially going to be my dream video game. Yes, yeah, I know that sounds kind of weird, people. I know. Yes, I know it sounds weird. Starfield is potentially my dream game, besides Elder Scrolls. But it's like there's many factors that because this is really talking about my history of why we've been doing it. Then I'll talk about why I like Starfield in part two. So, truth in short is back when I was gaming for a long time, people. But I'm not gonna talk about my full history game. I'm gonna talk about why I started to like this particular theme, like space and exploration and all that kind of stuff. It all for me, it all started from let's just start from my I want to say my fondest memories I've had. I remember back when I came home from elementary school, my father, that's like back then, like I played Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Nintendo 64, PlayStation 1. And I remember I came home from school, right? And then I saw my dad just in the living room with a stack of games. Like legit, he was just there with the stack of games. He was playing the Xbox, the original Xbox, actually, but with the Duke controller. He was playing that Xbox. I was like, oh man, what is that? Oh my god, what is that? I was so shocked. Oh, this is cool. This looks great. He was playing Grand Theft Auto Vice City. And next to that, through the stack of games, you see Halo. And man, Halo, I was like, oh my gosh, Halo was so freaking cool. You know, I was like, oh my god, but it's like, but I didn't, because at that time I didn't own Halo. I rented Halo from Hollywood Video, back if you or Blockbuster. If you guys even know, it was mainly Hollywood Video. We did it from that. And at that point, I was like, oh wow, I like this game is so freaking cool to me, man. It's like you go to outer space, you get to fight these aliens and blah blah blah. You go around killing and shooting and stuff like that. But that was like my initial first response to space themes during games. Because in PlayStation, the only thing that I really had that was like that was I played Star Wars. I love the Star Wars movies. I initially loved all the Star Wars movies from the very beginning, with like Obi-Wan. And like, cause I remember growing up, I saw the let me get a drink of water real quick. It's off the cuff. I'm not editing shit. I remember going off and watching the original movies with my brother on TV because I wasn't alive then. I was like, oh wow, this is kind of cool, but I didn't really know what was going on until I saw them years later. And then the main ones I grew up with were the prequels. I was always interested in space kind of themes, cool like that. I like the stars, like the moon, all that kind of stuff. And Halo was like, oh wow, I'm just a no random, because at that time I thought I was just some no-name guy, just going in and okay, military, okay, that's the best course of action, you know, to see these aliens. It was cool. The aspects of that, the combat of all was so good. But the reason I'm bringing a Halo up is because it was my first introduction into space theme for gaming, technically. You know, I had Jedi Power Battles for PlayStation, but I was like, it's not, you know, space theme game, but it was still a side scroller, but it's like an open world kind of thing. But also in that stack of games, I was pretty much introduced in Bethesda games with what was this right here, this bad boy right here, Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. This is the exact one that I had back then. You know, it's like, I can't believe how far they've come. Like, I was so fascinated with the Elder Scrolls 3 that I was like, I could not stop talking about the game. And then my lights and stuff messed up. I literally couldn't stop talking. I was trying to get my brother to play this game. I was trying to get everyone forever to play this because, oh my god, I was going to school. You gotta play this game, Morrowind. It's so cool. Like, come on, man, it's so good. Like, this is the next generation in gaming. Like, holy crap. It was my first introduction into like a Western style RPG. And you know what I liked about it was, this is gonna be all over the place. What I really liked about it was, it's like, okay, this is the first game I play that you can create your own character, and I literally try to make me. The first thing I still do it to this day. I try to make me in these games. That's like, oh wow, I can put me finally in this game. I was a Redguard, of course, and then this isn't going to all the lore, Elder Scrolls, something like that. That's a whole nother discussion. If you guys want to look at that, go to Fudge Muppet. I recommend Fudge Muppet if you want Elder Scrolls lore. Those guys are the goats. I love those guys. I don't know what happened to your podcast. You guys need to come up with more episodes, unless you got other stuff to talk about. Anyway, this is my first introduction to making my own character, and I was so fascinated at how you can move, customize your character, get these all cool armors and weapons, stuff like that. And then I looked up in the sky in the game, and it's like, oh my god, you can see the stars. And if you know Elder Scrolls lore, the sky is not really the sky in the game. It's like, it's a simulation kind of thing. It's hard to explain, but you know what I'm talking about. So fast forward that, I was trying to get everyone to play the game, and like, you know, I saw that some new content, because my dad saw me playing this game day and night for hours and hours on end, missing school in the morning and stuff like that, playing this freaking game. And then the DLC Game of the Year edition came out, and it was this right here, people. This right here, Blood Moon and Tribunal, Elder Scrolls. This is what I'm talking about, man. This right here, it's just pretty much Elder Scrolls Oblivion up the ante. Not Oblivion, but Elder Scrolls Morrowind up the ante. We'll get to Oblivion here in a minute. And by that time, when the game came out, I was like, oh my god, this is cool. It's like, it expanded my mind into certain aspects of the games. Like, okay, at this point, I like Bethesda RPGs in general. I love these games. Just because that one game right there. Just okay, I'm hooked at this point. And at the same time when that was coming out, like after that, I don't have it but Halo 2 came out, and that just took things to the next level. Like, legit, Halo 2 took things to the next level. And what I mean by that is, like, let's just say, even though okay, this is gonna get a lot of bad. This is like my hot take. I don't like Halo 2 that much. Compared to the other Halo games, for me, it's the weakest out of all of them. I don't care what any of y'all say. But I'm talking for the original trilogy. Halo 1 and 3, Halo 2 is the weakest. Reach is like number 2. So, fast forward. I liked Halo 2. Seeing the space themes for Halo 2 and the story. Okay, I'm liking this. The music, it got me amped. You get to do this with squads and all this stuff. You see different factions of people. Oh my god, this is cool. Like, holy shit, I was so enamored with this game. I was like, okay. And I was like, but there was one thing that was still bothering me while playing Halo like that. Even though it was a space game, it wasn't my dream game. It wasn't in RPG form. Like, I wanted a game that was RPG form. It's just thing, guys, in the midst of me talking about this, I've played other video games in the sense. I've played lots of games, trust me. If I get through my whole list of gaming, oh yeah, you got lists and lists and lists. Like, this ain't, I'm not even talking about Final Fantasy and all that kind of stuff. Because just think, Final Fantasy stuff came out by then, and I was on that shit. On that shit like white on rice. But don't get it twisted. But fast forward that after the Halo 2 craze was over, there was a boon of the new console generation coming out. And that gives us to the Xbox 360. And I do still have these back when people still collected gaming magazines. You had Game Informer, Game Pro, Tips and Tricks, Nintendo Power, all these kind of game things. And even the Xbox magazine. I bet some of y'all haven't seen this. You probably haven't seen a physical copy. This is some Elder Scrolls Relic shit. They had an article about the next Elder Scrolls coming out. And I was so... I talk about this randomly throughout my videos. I was so happy that they're making another Elder Scrolls game for the 360, because I got this as a launch title. Elder Scrolls Oblivion. There was a demo disc, like I still talk to this day. There's a demo disc that came out but it was a video format, like a Vidoc, early Vidoc, 6-part series or 5-part series, one of those that came out with Elder Scrolls Oblivion with Todd Howard. And I first saw the guys. This is the guy that made Elder Scrolls. Cool. At that point, I was hooked to Elder Scrolls games. It was this game. It was this demo, this right here, people. See it? This right here. I got the magazine still mint in the closet. This right here is what pretty much started me into the gaming news craze, I should say. Like, officially. Like, the hype for Elder Scrolls Oblivion to come out was one of the hypest moments I've ever had in gaming history. Like, come on, guys, listen to me. These freaking birds in the background, I hear y'all. Like, I've seen this thing, I can guarantee you, maybe over 60 or 70 times. Literally. I can quote Todd Howard bit by bit, Pete Hines, all these people on this thing right here. It's like, and that right there was like, I was delving into that game so much to get information and stuff like this. Okay, at this point, they were building lore around the game. Trust me, guys, I'm talking about Bethesda games for a while, but I'm gonna get to a point. Trust me, about Starfield. But it's to the point where I was so, you know what? I think these guys have pretty much satiated my satisfaction with Western RPGs. These guys can do it. In the meantime, there's Fallout 3, Fallout 4. I still didn't play New Vegas. I'm still playing that. You know. But, and then officially this game came out. And it's like, you know what? I love this game. I love it. Like, this is honestly, Elder Scrolls Oblivion is my top 5 favorite games of all time. Hands down. It's like, there's a reason why I got Elder Scrolls plastered throughout the room. There's a reason why I got Fallout plastered through the room. There's a reason why I potentially will have Starfield plastered across the room. Who knows, man? All right, let me quit fixing this light. But in the midst of playing Elder Scrolls Oblivion, what I liked about the game is they, of course, crafting, they expanded the universe. The designs was freaking dope. It was really cool, you know what I mean? And it's to the point where when I'm talking about the game, it's like, wow, I'm playing this game and I saw the sky again. I saw the blood moon. I'm like, if this game was set in space, I think we got something. Like, I remember talking about it too. So it's like, listen, dude, we got all these things. I said these characters kind of look alienish. Cause I thought about that when I was playing Morrowind. I was like, the Argonians and stuff, they kind of look like aliens. I mean, they got alienish names. You know, I was an ignorant kid back then, but that's what was going on. And in the meantime, after that game came out, there was another game that popped into my mind. I don't have it over here, but there's a game called Mass Effect. Yeah, Mass Effect, people. That game right there is what solidified me in believing that I want a full-fledged space game that's like that. Solidified. For story and all that kind of stuff. And I'm pretty sure it came out after Halo. But for this purpose right here, I'm not sure. We're going to talk about Mass Effect. It's like, of course, it's N7, you know, General Shepard. That's what I wanted to talk about. That guy. He was a down-to-earth, cool motherfucker, man. That Commander Shepard, when Mass Effect came out, bro, didn't give a fuck. Boom, spaceman. Boom, boom, talk your shit. RPG mechanics, space mechanics. The Normandy. It's fucking like the Normandy. If you guys know me, the Normandy, get it? Wink, wink. If you guys know the Normandy, okay. It's like, holy crap. Man, it's like, I was so enamored with this fucking game. The dialogue system. You could actually tell your people what to do. You can give them eject. You can give them squad mates. You can do so much. But it's still, you know, it's still not what I wanted. It's so hard to explain. Like, of course, you had crafting and all that kind of stuff, upgrading. It's not a self-contained story. You know, it's good like that, yes. but it doesn't have that Bethesda flavor that I was enjoying for so long. You know what I mean? And at that time too, Halo, like, listen, Halo 3 came out. This is my collector's edition Halo 3 that my father bought me. Like, oh, man, it's such a good time, people. It's such a good time. Honestly, I doubt people are gonna sit there and watch this history kind of thing and me talking about gaming. But, you know, it is what I believe. Why this could be my dream game, but potentially. It's like Halo 3 collector's edition. I got the helmet over there, limited edition. That I love that thing. I will forever love that thing. You know, of course, Halo 3, one of the best story trilogy games ever. Bar none, probably the best trilogy game I've ever played. Ever. Best story. Boom. Good, solid, concise beginning to end. Alienish. It was still a first-person shooter. Did what it had to do. The variety of planets and stuff that you went to, yeah, solidified space. Mass Effect just put it through the roof for me. Fast forward, at this point in time, we're still late 360 era. Fallout 3's came through. I played Fallout 3. At that point, Bethesda was going more modern looking, which is cool because, of course, I like Elder Scrolls, but they're not humanish characters and classes. I was making a regular guy, a red guard, you know. But the graphics were dated at the time, you know. At that time, Fallout, of course, was running through its course. Great, more modern. I like the lore of it. And Bethesda was starting to get that flair that I like. You know, they were starting to say, yeah, you know what? Take it up to the next level, Bethesda. That is what I like for you guys. Hell, you guys can see across the room. Halo, Bethesda games. Look, Skyrim, Dragonborn, limited edition. My statues out back there, my Fallout stuff. Am I a Bethesda fanboy? Maybe. But fast forward a little bit. 11/11/11 comes out. Yes, 11/11/11. Yeah, I'm talking so much, but I'm not gonna cut any of this shit. It was the dawn of 11/11. I went to GameStop with my brother to pick up my collector's edition, which is one of my first purchases of having a job. Yeah, I remember that. It was one of my first purchases of having a job in 11/11/11. And what I bought was this puppy right here. I have the collector's edition. I still have it. I got my statue of Alduin right there, the Dragonborn wall. You already know, red guards. Like, come on, people. This game is still played to this day. Heavily modded, people. And of course, I'm not gonna get into the devil in the mods, but this game, I want to say, solidified me as saying, you know what? At this time, Bethesda was probably my favorite game studio. Favorite. Forever. So, you know, at the time, you could do so much with this game. It was dated, you know, 360. Of course, there's gripes I have with the game. Everything looked brown, but that's what the 360 era was. Everything was just brown and gray, you know. Everything was more natural looking. But I was an Elder Scrolls guy. I love this thing. The story with the Dovahkiin, Dragonborn, you can do all that kind of stuff. They expanded on their mechanics with the follower system for a little bit. The inventory system. It's still the Bethesda flavor. Cool. Yes. Man, this thing is old, man. This thing, man. It's been a long time since I've seen this. Dude, look at this. I even have the burlap map and everything. This is the original one that I had. And of course, they had the developer diaries. I had to watch that. I got the art book. I love that thing, even though it has spoilers in it. People, art book spoilers. That was one thing we had to worry about back then. And just think, in between there, you know, even on the original Xbox, I talk about Star Wars games like Knights of the Republic and stuff like that. But at that point, space themes pretty much shelved for me. There wasn't really any space themed games that I remember. Let's just say that I remember, trust me, that I remember that I was really enamored into like that. Of course, eventually Xbox One, Fallout came out, you know. Of course, I got the collector's edition, like always. Get the Pip-Boy back there. I love Fallout 3, one of the best things I've ever bought. But in the meantime, there was other games that popped out, you know, that was in Gears of War and stuff like that. Xbox 360. I should come out with the history of Xbox, but to me, I was still thinking, this is like random, but at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, Bethesda, you guys are doing what I want, but where is the space game? Where is the space game? And just think, I remember Todd Howard a long time ago talking about, because they had, like, if you guys have been following Todd Howard for a long time in Bethesda, they had a thing called Game Jam. And I remember in one of their lists that they had, that they're throwing out ideas, they had a space game. And I was like, yo, I don't know where I heard it from. I heard it on a sticky, I seen it on a sticky note or something like that. That they said, where is the space game? Like, where is it? Like, and it took them so long, it's like put on the shelf. Fast forward again until now. I was gonna cut this off. I'll talk about pure Starfield in the next video. It's like fast forward, they finally come out with the trailer. Finally, after all these years, Starfield, the Bethesda game set in space. Well, basically, I knew about Starfield for a while. I remember I was reading a lot of stuff online before I actually started making content. I was still doing a lot of anime content, right? And I said, I know their game is called Starfield. Stars in space. And I was thinking to myself, damn. Like, I was thinking to myself, and it's like, are they finally going to do this? Like, are they really going to make my dream game? Then again, it could be, it could not. But let's just say this is the closest my dream game could be. Because my dream game officially is a space-themed game where you can get it, use your ship, go around different planets, story-driven RPG-focused game, Western RPG, crafting, components, stuff like that. Have my own fleet. I don't want to say fleet. That's not I don't want to play no MMOs. No, I'm not getting to that again. Fantasy Star Universe, man. I was the monger king. Let's just say that I was running those markets, man, undercutting people. I was pretty much the equivalent to a rare hunter from Yu-Gi-Oh! Back in Battle City, but I was a rare hunter for an MMO game. I was going out, getting the items, grinding, and reselling to people for money. And I run those markets, man. Fantasy Star Universe, good times, good times. That's besides the point. Still space theme, still on brand. Okay, but yeah, it's to the point where I was like, I'm seeing it, and like, holy shit, like, this potentially could be my dream game. It is made by Bethesda. It doesn't necessarily have to be made by Bethesda, but they have a good track record for me, per se. I understand the gripes, people. Come on. I play Elder Scrolls modded and Fallout modded. I get the gripes with some people. But for me, as a whole, like, this is my favorite game company finally making a space game that they've talked about in the past. Fallout was pseudo-space. Pseudo-space. You had alien elements, but it wasn't pure space. And when I was seeing it, like, oh wow. And then eventually the first trailer came out. And I posted my reaction down here. I was so fucking blown away by that trailer. In a sense, like, okay, you can pick apart the trailer. Yeah, I get it. But it's different from Bethesda games for me in general. But I was so blown away by the trailer. Like, oh my God, the gunplay. Well, not the gunplay per se. That can be better. Like, any game, gunplay can be better. Fine, I give you that. But the way that they look, because just think, I'm not even talking about anime, dog. Like, listen, there's a whole bunch of fucking space anime. Let's go on a fucking tangent. Like, let's go on a tangent real quick. Me, in a sense, I fucking love Gundam. Dude, Gundam Wing, like Toonami, Gundam Wing, Tenchi Muyo, Space-ish. But Gundam, for fucking sake. Gundam was the second anime I've ever seen. First one is Dragon Ball. And don't get me started with Dragon Ball. You guys see the logo and the title. I am a Dragon Ball lore master. Encyclopedia, connoisseur, got that game, got everything. We don't talk about Dragon Ball right? We're talking about Starfield. But that's besides the point. Okay, people. Yeah, Gundam got me introduction to space. Favorite Gundam, Death Scythe Hell. Gundam Wing, they went to G Gundam. So I was a fan of Gundam. I liked all that stuff. Space theme, cool. I was like, yes. I like the suits. Akira, pseudo space. You know, had the little futuristic stuff. 90s anime. Yeah, I like it. But this is just a history video, not me talking, of course. But back to my original point. I was so enamored. The creatures in the game. One thing people say about Fallout 76, I get it. It's not the mainline thing. I didn't play it that much because, you know, I had other stuff to do at the time. I got the limited edition. I got that. I was playing for a little bit, didn't play it back. I stopped playing for other games. Of course, fine. That's what happens. But one thing about it is creature design. Creature design. That's the one thing that they pretty much took away from 76 that I see. They nailed extravagant creatures. And if you can nail extravagant creatures in these games, it means wildlife and stuff on planets. You see what I mean? Wildlife stuff on planets. Even in Dragonborn and Elder Scrolls, you have some different creatures, but it was still more modern-ish fantasy. But this was the first introduction of the house DLC for crafting and stuff like that. Then it went to Fallout, pseudo space elements, more modern-ish. And when I get talking about Destiny, I was a major Destiny fan. Back on the wall, Bungie. You guys had me with space. And tangent, if you guys didn't know, if you guys actually sit there and watch this, I was actually featured in the Destiny 2 live showcase. If you guys didn't know that, like, honestly, if you guys go back and watch the Destiny showcase for Lightfall, you'll see me in there. I'm literally the guy that says, it's like, no. I said, I want darkness for Destiny. I want darkness. That was me. Like, literally, I was actually in the Destiny thing. I love space theme stuff. And yeah, I love that was fucking cool. That was fucking cool, man. Thanks, Bungie. But that's besides the point too. This video is all over the place. This is gonna be a part 1 of why I'm just talking stuff like this. It's all random. I'm not really like I'm a YouTuber and gamer, but for people just talking about pure Starfield info, you probably shouldn't watch this, or you just want to hear why I love Starfield. That'll be the next video of why I talk about what I actually like about Starfield in depth. But yeah, man, it's like the things I'm seeing. This literally can potentially be my favorite game. Like the ships, you can go space stations. It's vast. The creative character thing, the way it can look more modernist, the more that I can put me in the game, the more I can immerse myself in the game. And maybe it is because it's Bethesda that I love the game a lot, but the design is there. I get people saying the dated engine, I get it, but it's still fine for what it is. Because the leaps of what they're doing for these games is great for them. Just think, people, you went from Morrowind to Oblivion, Oblivion to Fallout, Fallout to Fallout 4, no, Fallout to 3 to Skyrim, Skyrim to Fallout 4. Man. And of course, Fallout 76 is the same as just Fallout 4, but slightly upgraded. And then Fallout 76 or Fallout 4 to Starfield. The photorealism, I've been delving into this engine, man. The photorealism jump is good. It's there. That's what we need to focus on. It's there. But even then, that's the only time I gotta tell. And yeah, stay tuned for the next video. I'm gonna cut this off right now, and then we'll talk about specifically Starfield in depth and what I really like about it. And why it's my dream game part 2. Alright, y'all, this is just a guy rambling about his gaming ventures and stuff like that. Why I believe Starfield is my dream game, or it could be my dream game potentially, but Bethesda's the closest option to do it. You know what I mean? Yeah. All right, y'all. If you guys want to watch this video, I should probably just upload it regardless. You know, stay tuned. Like it if you don't, but it is what it is. If this is just a different style of video I want to talk about, you know, maybe I'll talk about gaming history again at some point. But yeah. All right, y'all. Like, share, subscribe, and peace. Stay tuned for some more gaming content, and stay tuned for part 2 of why I believe Starfield may be my dream game. All right, y'all. Peace.